Hello everyone. Today we're going to be presenting our marketing project. We're going to be selling our product or service to Sudan, and our group is consisting of me, Berkercan, Sinan Yorgun, and EKİCİ, who's taking the video right now. So I'm going to leave the stage to Sinan so he can explain some information about Sudan.
Hi, my name is Sinan, and I'm going to give some brief information about Sudan's culture. Literacy, starting with literacy rate. Age 15 and over can read and write. Male 71%, nearly 72%. Female 50.5%. Religion, mostly Sunni Muslims, 70%. 25% indigenous beliefs. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly or not. 5% Christian. Languages which are being used in Sudan, mostly Arabic, Nubian, Tabetviye, Sudanic languages, and finally English. Sudan's demographics population is 37 million. Birth rate 34.53 divided by 100 population. Death rate 8.97 again divided by 1000 population. Life expectancy 58.92 years, which is very low. Fertility rate 4.72 children born women. Government type, they do have a different government type because they are very unique in their own. Federal government ruled by the Congress Party. They came to power by a military coup in 1989, and they maintain government of the national unity. Since 2005, the government provided a percentage of leadership posts to the South Sudan based Sudan People's Liberation Movement. Was disbanded following the secession of South Sudan. And my friend will continue with the Sudan's economic analysis.
So hello again. I'll be talking about the Sudan's economic analysis. So as you can see, the GDP, which is the purchasing power parity, is 85.89 billion as of 2005. It's actually a low number when you compare it to the population and the other countries in the world. So GDP composition by sector, as you can see, agriculture, they're making 38.7% of their money from agriculture. They have 20.3% in industries and 41% in services. These are all as of 2003 estimations. The unemployment rate is 18.7. It's actually not a very big number, but still, even though it's a big, but when you compare it to some other countries, also like Turkey, it's a country of like about 15%, even though it's more developed than Sudan. So the population below poverty line is 40%. This is a very important number. It's like there are many people who is below the poverty line, or maybe begging in the streets or trying to sell some things in the streets, which is a bad aspect about Sudan. The industries, they have oil, cotton, ginning, textiles, cement, edibles, oils, sugar, soap, distilling, shoes, petroleum refining, pharmaceuticals, and armaments. So this is the energy consumption in Sudan. As you can see, their own consumption is 5.67 billion kilowatts, and the per capita one is 156.89 kilowatts. When you compare it to the European numbers, as you can see, Sudan is really low according to Europe average, and in energy production, even though they're producing 100% of their own energy, they're still in low. That means they are not giving enough energy to the country. There is not enough electricity for the country because you can see they're producing 7.19 billion kilowatts, when it is 6,322 kilowatts in 6,322 kilowatts in Europe. So next slide, please. This is the energy production in Sudan. As you can see, this is the distribution of how energy is being produced in Sudan. We can see that they're producing 30% of their energy from fossil fuels because they have too much oil in their country, but still it causes damage because they're finishing the oil, and currently the oil prices are keeping on increasing in Sudan, even though it's cheaper than many of the European countries or American countries, but still it's being a big problem for the people because, as we said, there is 40% of the people are below the poverty line. They're producing nothing from nuclear power. They're producing 66.3% of their energy from water power. They have dams in the country. They have about 3 dams in the country. That's how they're producing. But even though it's 66.3, it's still a low number. That means, as I said in the earlier slide, there is not enough electricity for the country. 3% renewable energy, and there is no any other energy source in the country. When we look at the numbers in Europe, we see that Sudan is really below this average. Next slide, please. Okay, why should they waste all the fuel and the water on this energy when there are other sources? See, this is our service we're going to do for Sudan. We're planning on collecting renewable natural waste in Sudan and turning them into methane gas, which can be turned into electricity. So, what is Sudan going to achieve from this trade? The country will be cleaned regularly and free of trash. There will be more renewable energy consumption, and there will be less petrol will be consumed in the country. So, this is actually the method of it. It's a basic method, so everyone can understand. It's a method to show how to turn garbage into electricity. So we first collect the trash, and then we put it in the storage, which becomes methane, and then we turn methane into electricity, and we give it to the transmission to PJMs, and then we distribute it to the country. So benefits of using waste as an energy source. There are many benefits. These are the ones we wrote, but even though there are still more benefits, but these are the ones we saw that is really important. As you can see, there's production and use of energy, reduction of waste, avoidance of disposal costs, use of products as fertilizers, avoid methane emissions, reduction in carbon emitted, reduction of reliance on fossil fuel. But apart from these ones, also what's important is this is a big job. So we're going to be recruiting many workers for this one. So we're going to help the unemployment rate, which we said was 40%, which is a very high number. This job will also be decreasing the amount of unemployment rate. So next slide, please. So let's talk about how we're planning to enter the Sudanese market. We're going to make a foreign direct investment. We are basically a Turkish company. We're going to go and open our company in Sudan. So what are we going to do? What we need is there has to be an agreement with the government, since they're the buyers. It can be a partnership with the government, or we can just produce it, collect it, produce it, and then after we turn it into electricity, we can just sell it to government. This is also one of the methods. Waste collecting mechanism has to be set in Sudan, because without doing that, we cannot basically find any waste and turn it into energy. So we need a team who can go around and collect the usable waste. And a production plant is needed, of course, because we need a place to produce the energy. So, what is our aim? Our aim is actually simple. Our first aim is, of course, to make profit, but other than that, what we're planning is to reduce the fossil fuel and water consumption for energy usage, because, as I said, the fuel prices are getting higher in Sudan. So, we're also planning to increase the usage of renewable energy, to clean the country and make it garbage-free, to minimize the electricity cutoffs in the country. There are many electricity cutoffs in Sudan. And people are also unhappy about it, but there is no other solution because there is not enough electricity resources in Sudan. To make electricity usable all around the country, there are places where there is still no electricity in Sudan. We're planning to increase the production capacity of the country, which might decrease the import amount. We're going to basically decrease the import amount by producing in the country. So next slide, please. Thank you for listening to us. This was our presentation for you. We hope that you like it.